Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. परमो च प्रभु सत्यम नित्यत्वमेव केवलम अनुवर्तामहे सत्यम अनुजीवम केवलम ओं शांति 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 ओं Vande Mataram. Namaste. Good morning. Welcome all of you. Today, this morning, of course, we are going to have a brief discussion on First Darshan of the Lord, Part 2. So, topic of this spiritual discussion will be on First Darshan of Lord Sri Aurobindo, Part 2. Initially, we have already discussed on Part 1. This evening, we are going to have a brief discussion on Part 2. First Darshan of Lord Sri Aurobindo. This is a beautiful topic. Some already I have discussed some big souls or great souls are there who were actually staying clustered around Sri Aurobindo and Mother. So these people who heard the first darshan of the Lord and sometimes of course with Mother also first darshan we have described it initially. So here Sri Aurobindo, those great souls who had the glimpse of the first darshan of Sri Aurobindo, they had some their own experience, and they have quoted either in some books it is written, or in they have expressed their vision, means experience they have described. So these are the things have been taken to consideration. They have been written here and there somewhere. People who are great souls, among the greats or among not so greats anyway, many people, thousands of people are there. Many people they are staying inside, and the still more people who are staying outside, they heard the first darshan of the Lord, and their experience have been written, and these experience we are going to quote in this topic, first darshan of the Lord Sri Aurobindo, part 2. So initially we'll take one beautiful message from Mother. Then we'll go to discuss the topic. Mother quotes here: to rediscover the immanent divine hidden in everything is in this whole universe. To rediscover the immanent divine hidden in everything in this whole universe. To find him is the eternal game. To feel him is to feel the immutable peace of perfect purity. To realize him is to find the eternal joy. To call him is to unlock the doors of infinity. This is the power behind the name of Sri Aurobindo. Just Mother going to this type of really unique message that is rarely heard, and this is given, and this is getting echoed and re-echoed in our heart and in the entire environment. So the purpose is there. I will try to quote it again: to rediscover the immanent divine hidden in everything in this whole universe. Then to find him, the number one is to first one is to rediscover. Second one, to find him in the eternal game. Then number three, to find him is to feel the immutable peace of perfect purity. Number four, to realize him is to find the eternal joy. Number 5, to call him is to unlock the doors of infinity. This is the power behind the name of Sri Aurobindo. All these are gathered behind Sri Aurobindo's name. Everything is written. So again, I will quote another message. Yes, my child, who recognizes Sri Aurobindo and me, of course, Mother has quoted me. In fact, it is the same thing, the same identity. There is no difference, only one. The two who are one and play in many worlds. For him, all obstacles, all difficulties, all traps, all the so-called interruptions on the march towards truth are swept away and are removed forever. In this life, as well as after death and in the lives to come, till eternity. Just your Mother assures, ascertains, and shows this is the path, this is the track, and he is the divine who is there. Yes, for him, the Lord is powerful. Only to repeat, Ma Sri Aurobindo, Ma Sri Aurobindo. This is enough. This is the great mantra, the mantra of the future, the mantra of transformation rather. So we'll go to the topic. First, initially we'll start the, of course, the first darshan of Lord Sri Aurobindo. Initially we'll try to quote Udar Pinto. Udar Pinto, the great soul clustered around Sri Aurobindo, who was staying there, Udar Pinto. Sri Aurobindo has such a lovely voice, he quotes. Sri Aurobindo had such a lovely voice. He had a pure Cambridge accent, and if you don't see him, you don't think it. You would think it was an Englishman speaking. It was a great grace from the mother that I could hear his beautiful, motivated voice. So here almost he quotes on his beautiful voice. It will be always there in my memory, the quality and the tone of his voice dictating Savitri. So this mantra Mai Savitri, the mantra of transformation, she quotes on Savitri, of course, this Udar Pinto. Then, when he was not dictating Savitri, Sri Aurobindo would be sitting on his bed in meditation, looking far away at eternity. This was the Udar Pinto's view on Sri Aurobindo. And we'll go for the we'll go right almost 100 years back, more than 100 years back. This is the year 1920. Right at the moment we are sitting on the 1921 in the midst of 1921. Of course, 98 and a half years passed since. It was the voice, fast darshan experience of T.K. Rao, Kodandra Rama Rao, T.K. Rama Rao. This beautiful message is there, his fast darshan experience. Sri Aurobindo appeared to me like the great Shiva, whom I had worshipped for a very long time. He was a Shiva disciple of Shiva. So, in the fast darshan, he feels Sri Aurobindo appeared to me like the great Shiva, whom I had been worshipping for a long time. He was all golden, not figuratively but actually. Very interesting things. All was golden, golden, golden. In the ancient Hindu spiritual works, gods and goddesses are great rishis, and the great rishis are described as golden. Hiranya Varnam Hiranyamayam. Hiranya Varnam Hiranyamayam. Like this gold. It is described in by rishis, great gods and goddesses. The supramental color is golden, with a smooth golden body emitting light and flowing locks over his shoulders, glowing bright, and shining eyes. Eyes are shining, penetrating deep into everything about his eyes. This Mr. Rao is quoting the great sadhak. Sri Aurobindo was majestic in his appearance. His gait was a royal, and when he was pacing to and fro in the veranda, he appeared to be drawing force and using it according to his divine will. Will is divine. Look is majestic. That figure is fantastic. So everything is Hiranyamaya, that golden color, the supramental color. Sri Aurobindo's touch was magnetic and awakened in the slumbering cells into life and activity. Just imagine how gloriously, gorgeously it is described, and he was truthfully described. Nothing more, nothing. The real twist truth has been described here. Sri Aurobindo was pacing to and fro fast in his room and veranda for 6 to 8 hours a day. Just imagine 6 to 8 hours per day. Mediating on persons, things, and events, and on herself. Meditating on persons, things, events, and on herself. 8 hours, and in his room, moving on his veranda. When doing so, it appeared as if he was in a high state of consciousness, and gave the impression of a Shiva or Mahakali with disheveled hair and disheveled hair, moving about, willing get great things. So this was the describe this. This came in Mother India in January 2009, page 75-76. So again we'll have a next description of Amrita. When Chettiar and I approached Sri Aurobindo's house, so like this we have already seen. So we found the door bolted, and this both we both knocked at him. This was the great experience, and all at a sudden the door was opened and left ajar. Sri Aurobindo had come quietly and turned back immediately as the door opened. It looked as if he did not want to let us have a glimpse of his face. So immediately he was turning back. So, and again, in that fading twilight, only for a long hair hanging gracefully upon his back, and his indescribably beautiful small feet caught my eyesight. My heart was throbbed within me as though I had been lifted up into the region of the gods. It took a long time to come back to the normal composure. This was his view. So we'll listen something on his the Sri Dilip Kumar Rai smilingly asked Mr. Paul Richard one day. This was a very conversation in hotel. There was a on March 1927. Dilip Kumar Rai smilingly asked Paul Richard, "It is my wish that you should give your precise views on Sri Aurobindo." Question was there. And Paul Richard, after contemplating for a while, replied, "In whole world I have not met anyone who is equal to him. For me, he is Lord Shiva, the incarnate." This was the Hindi quality of Aditi. So it had come back. So another remark we'll see Richard Pearson. When we wanted, when we entered the darshan room, I felt something like a solid peace. Peace, we know that it has got no existence, nothing like statue. It was like a solid peace. As in a dense forest, solid peace in a dense forest. Just imagine how the scenario, the environment would be. Even on the steps of the staircase, one could feel it. And it was the real feeling, anybody can feel it. As one came nearer, one could see Sri Aurobindo sitting majestic but impassive, and the mother sitting next to him seemed so regal and radiant. Both the mother and this thing, that posture has been described. But when she was in trance, of course, mother, Sri Aurobindo looked gracious and smiling. One felt always an atmosphere of peace and light, so tangible and so inexpressible. This was the view, the past darshan experience of Paul Pearson. Then, among the not so great, there was some little bit of experience written among not so greats. Already I have used the term. This is the so many greats are there, so many are there, still unknown. They are coming under among not so greats. Once more, some disciples gathered around Sri Aurobindo, and during some very informal talking, not formal, informal talking, Sri Aurobindo asked those around what they wanted. Then Dara asked for a vision of God. There was no immediate compliance to his wish to have a vision of God. There was nothing in immediate. She was there. Nothing could be felt. But when Dara went up to the darshan on the darshan day, he could not see Sri Aurobindo as a person, but saw him as a source of bright white light. Initially, he was asking for a vision of God. That day, it was not feasible. Then, while he was having a darshan, at first he felt a bright white light. That is, of course, a source of bright white light. Dara, the among the not so greats, not so much prominent. At first, there was something wrong with his eyes, he felt. Then, as he was returning on the stairs, he saw the Rasalila, Krishna's Rasalila, and we have already felt. It then struck him, he was being granted his wish of a few days back. This was the glimpse, this was the thing as he has described. Also, we can take Upen Banerjee, the close associate of Sri Aurobindo. His description during the revolutionary period, he had the glimpse. Describes his past meeting. That sick, dark, malaria affected man is Sri Aurobindo. Initially, he quoted, "He is our chief." My spirit was awfully damped at his sight, but just then we turned and looked at him. I don't know how to describe that look. That was gorgeous.